welcome to King Leo D&D episode 45.
Wow.
Which feels like 46, but kind of 45. We lost the last episode, and so, well, not all of it, we kind of stopped a bit in once we realized that some hinky things were happening. And so, for the announcement is some weird stuff happened, but we're going to recover it. The other announcement is, look at we're in a different place. We've moved, and are improving, and so thank you for sticking with us through what is not yet finished, is all I'm going to say. Let's hop right into the recap of some stuff that happened last episode. We're going to kind of blend 44 and 44 and so what had happened in 45 that we lost, and then this will officially be episode 45 too. So, some program updates are heard the Draconic language and also through the telescope thing, and also has some mental notes left and conversation happening with Farragrand through the telescope too. But everything that they were able to learn is they've heard some of the Draconic language, and then also Remy seems to be in the direction of Dustforge 2. A last night rager happened at Smash Paws, where Misery dominated the stage with a personal song that Joey gave us. Everyone met Sarah. Sarah, the hostess and servant of the Half Shack, or whatever the official name ends up being.
Did we lose the whole artwork?
I forgot about
Misery?
that.
Okay.
No, I'm just going to blend in some of the last couple episodes. Grenjan's house is being manicured and taken care of by Thelen and Lorla. Misery got a scarf that he ended up getting the blue 1,000 thread count scarf, rather than the purple and coarse 250 thread count scarf, and an upgraded butter knife. And
you need a scarf. You want me to crochet you a scarf? Misery?
Yeah, man, I was weeping listening to that clip again. It was a wild ride. Pilgrim and Thule went to the archive and learned about some dragons and vampires, and this was some of the missed stuff. And Thule also bought some spells from Chikasho. She bought the slow spell and the mage armor spell for the price of one future favor that Chikasho seemed really intrigued by. But then also went to the archive and they learned some stuff about dragons, which I'm going to read over because this is like a really important lore drop of some things, some names, some personalities of these ancient dragons that existed during the first war of this world, the Draconic War. And so they learned 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 names of these dragons and a little bit of the impact that these dragons had. One is Helonarith, the Black Plague, an ancient black dragon. The next one they learned about through their study is Miramis the Collector, an ancient white dragon. There was Eridurn, the Stone's Heart, an ancient red dragon. Cynix, Cynix, the Fanged Grin, an ancient black dragon. And 2 more. Szrazel, Szrazel. The Crimson Cinder, this is an ancient red dragon as well. And then Lunogo, the Cracking Wings, this ancient blue dragon. So they were able to find out these names and a little bit of the history of what happened after the Draconic War, which ended up being a series of like worldwide laws and efforts to ban the protection or perseverance of dragons. Harboring eggs or any form of defense or protection of dragons is punishable by death. And so, also, everyone here in their lifetimes has never heard of or seen an actual dragon. That throughout the entire world, they are known to be extinct, even though there are conspiracies and groups and things like that that always dwell on the fact that, kind of like similar to us, of like, is there alien life? And you get, your pockets of people that are like, oh, I absolutely believe that there are aliens out there. That you can come to that logical conclusion of the way that you view outer space in the world. It's kind of the same category that people would be with dragons in this world, where it's like, you get some people who are like, there's no proof of it, I don't think it's real, and then other people who are like, yeah, but it just seems to be where I land. So that's kind of the sense, the feel, and the study that came out of that, as well as learning some weaknesses and general truths about vampires, as they have been able to piece together that there's some form of vampiric presence at Dustforge. Beyond that archive study, there was a visit with Gwen's family, her 15-year-old brother Sting, and her father Flint, and her mother Galena. And so she stopped there and just talked with them and kind of shot the breeze and caught up. And then beyond that, what was the other thing we covered in that episode?
Tending to the garden.
Tending to the garden, to visit with your family.
Tricasha.
Okay, great. Then that was kind of what was missed out of 45, and we'll redo this as 45 continued and restarted. Kicking off now. Yeah, 45. Here we are. We'll kind of start this episode off the same way we did the last one, Gwendolyn's family.
Great.
And so your family kind of warms back up to you being there. It's been like 3 weeks since you had visited, and so you spent some time in the morning and the afternoon from your like half day's travel out to the Lillarian estate, where all 3 of your family members worked harvesting and working in the fields, as well as part of the like barreling and processing of the wine here for Treya. And so you spend some time at your house with them, and things kind of sink back into their normal and their regular. Just to kind of quick step some of these things, at one point Sting pulls you aside and has a little bit of a small glass vial. And he sneaks it into your hand, and you can see that he's being a little, just a little sneaky about it, but also he still carries his very confident, like, bravado around him. And you just kind of catch on this slight deviation from his regular behavior. And in this vial, you can see, like, very small, whitish, cream-colored, like, granules. Or like really small, just like textured powder that's inside of it. And when he hands it over to you, he says, this is, seems like a really good yeast that I collected for you. Thought this might be helpful for your business.
Yeet! Nice.
Just seems like he's not sure.
I want to make a sourdough starter joke, but... Oh.
What is this goop?
Where'd you gather it?
Don't ask me where I got it, but that's for you.
Is it above the law?
If you need it to be.
And something beyond.
Okay, you weirdo. Thank you.
Just wanted to, well, I figured when you were coming back, I could, try to help support your trade, your business, and the thing you're trying to grow. So it seems to work well here for the vineyard. So I figured it might work well for you.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay. Then beyond that, some just small talk and stuff with your parents. Anything you'd specifically want to know, update them on, or talk with them about?
No.
Okay. Great.
Not over the last time.
Great. Well then, fading out of that scene and conversation, you eventually head back into Populous and...
I tell them bye.
Oh, okay. Well, that's pleasant. Yeah.
Bye.
Warm hugs and see yous, and probably say goodbye like 5 or 6 times before you finally get out the door.
It's close to home, man.
Yeah. But you're heading on the road back to Populous. Next, we'll then hop into what should be one of the last things we do before heading back to the half shat and getting into the morning with Treya to head east. Pilgrim, was anyone going with you to go meet up with Farragrand?
Tuli was.
Let me...
I sprint there. I don't sprint. I just walk.
To the spring.
You skip. Yeah, I skip.
Great.
A jaunt.
Oh gosh, yeah, thank you. And now you can see everybody.
Pointing it.
Great.
Whoa.
No. I had it just on me for all of that, so now everyone can be seen. All right, so knocking on the door, getting back into the Brass Star, a familiar and hopefully expected face of Farragrand is there, and he's sitting behind the counter, but also the room seems to be prepared for a meeting and sitting in. There's no big flashy display of shifting functions of the place, and he seems expecting of you. And as he ushers and welcomes you in, Pilgrim, hello, and Tuli, great, all right. And you can see beaming smile on his face He's continuing to like kind of run his hands through his goatee that he has tightly bound underneath of his chin, and smiles as he walks over and kind of awkwardly puts his arm out to then lock the door behind. But I'm gonna just make a little statement here that Julie might assume that it was some weird half hug, and then kind of hugs him into it, and he just awkwardly, yes, hello, and then locks the door.
You assumed correctly.
Please, let's go in and sit. I have not a lot of information, but something exciting to report. Being that, sorry, give me 1 second. Have we talked about how he's conversed with Remy recently?
The last that I knew is that y'all have been talking back and forth, and that you seem to think, or Fairground seemed to think that she was under some sort of duress under Dustforge.
Okay.
I think that's as far as it had gotten, but I knew that y'all have been in communication.
Yeah.
You mind linked to him on the way to the archives to tell him that.
Okay, great. Then we're good. I just wanted, I needed a recap of what all we actually covered in the lots of episodes and what happened. Okay, great.
Yeah.
Yes. Just another piece of information that was able to kind of piece together through some of the details that she had shared. A couple of words stuck out, really. I know that it's not full thoughts. She mentioned laboratory was one of the words that she said. And that is the descriptor of the place that she is in some form of place for work and experimentation. She said the phrase, they were changing things. Maybe, I don't think she's fine. She seems stuck, captured, as we've been thinking, in some form of duress, and very weak. I imagine, and this is the hard part, I think they might have been doing some form of work on her or with her, given that, the last time that I talked with Ramuin, she was with much more life and energy to her. This feels like a very strained and small version of her.
Do you think I could use the device again and try to speak with Remy myself?
I would not fault you for trying. I would just caution you not to get your hopes up for much of a conversation. It seems like the 2 times I've been able to connect with her, the second time was much more brief than the first, and I think responding back does take a lot of energy from her, but by all means you can.
Can I investigate the telescope to see if there's any way that I can help Pilgrim, make a connection, or just any...
Sure.
Any sense of maybe if you cock your head this way. I don't know what that would be, Arcana or investigation.
Sure.
Or...
Yeah, go ahead and make an Arcana check.
Okay. Well, that's a 12.
Okay, got it. I'll put a pin in that for now.
Okay.
And then before you go up to it, Peregrine does say, after I spoke with her, I did continue to pan around a bit, trying to find that draconic connection that we had before without any luck. So we may need to refocus this in this attempt. And so if you would make an intelligence check for me, and I'll still put a pin in what you're doing there. What do I need dice?
11 plus 5, 16.
I got some right
Nice.
here. I got some.
Do you want me to make an intelligence check?
Sure, go ahead.
28.
Fantastic.
Whoa!
And
Nice.
How?
When you don't roll a nat 20 on
I
it.
rolled a nat 20 and it's +8.
You rolled a nat 20 on it?
Yes.
Fairgrand rolled a natural 20 on it too.
Yeah.
So,
you guys are so smart.
the three of you,
We never know.
as you walk up to the device and adjust it around, the first thing happens is you do connect with the draconic voice in which you're listening to again. But at this point, you hear, hey, dealer, I found something here. This reads over that. Give me 1 second to check out the note. I was expecting yet another natural 20 on this, so let me get back up to this.
This is in common.
This is in common.
It's like everyday
I assume
speech.
that's what, I don't know for sure, I assume that's what English is called.
Yeah,
That's
yes,
always the
it's- yes,
fancy.
this
We
is
can't
like-
call it English because England doesn't exist.
Right.
You know, like it's like normal people speak English and people who are abnormal
Right.
don't.
Why would you say that?
Well, I'm just explaining how common works.
So you hear this voice in common.
You want us to get canceled?
I want me to get canceled.
Okay, you hear this voice in common say that I'm reading here that Szrazel was corrupted by Drenton and that he worked against the gods. And this book, this right here, is fascinating. And then you hear the other voice then speak back in Draconic, which we've already covered, and none of you do speak. And then that conversation just shifted to then be in Draconic. But that's some of the stuff you're able to glean out of it.
Did it sound like the common voice switched to Draconic?
Yes.
Okay.
And what language is Draconic?
Draconic.
German?
Maybe our Germans dragons?
We're not doing this.
Dragon German? German dragon?
Hey,
Dragons.
German dragon drug a flagon of German dragon.
No, hey, focus.
any reaction, thoughts, or response to hearing this conversation?
This is just me hearing this right now? Or do Fairgrand and Thule and me all hear this?
You hear it, and they're kind of helping you aim the device.
Right.
Huh.
With their very good brains. Okay.
Perfect brain time.
Well,
Maybe not every time.
yeah, I convey while listening what I'm hearing, and then add, it would seem someone is trying to offer these draconic individuals perhaps some information or insight on dragons, perhaps? I'm not sure how Rini is connected to that, but it seems as if there is someone who is offering information and who also has a close enough connection to these draconic speakers that they too are able to speak the language.
I don't think that this is quite connected to Remy. And if you see here, and then he takes the device and kind of shifts it up and to the right a bit, this is more in the position and those little like notches and marks that he had made to kind of re-gauge that direction. This is more about the area where I was connecting with her. This voice seems to be coming from somewhere, I mean, from this point, and if you aim, depending on how far away these voices are, like we'd be talking the difference between days and days of travel, or maybe they could be near each other. It just depends on the triangulation. I just don't know how far they are from here.
Thule is kind of like leaning against the telescope, holding it, and has like, I don't know, did Fairground have like tea or anything in the room?
Always.
Okay, she has like a cup of tea that is like incredibly filled, like it's about to spill over, and she's holding it in her other hand, and she like is kind of in thought as she's balancing these two things kind of effortlessly, unless you have to roll. And then she says, so what does the dragon Szrazel, this is Thule saying this, Szrazel? What does he have to do with one of the patron gods of Dustforge? That was the one that, you know, the villain of the War of the Gods, right? That corrupted and sowed discord amongst the gods.
Yes. Well, from what Pilgrim has just shared, it seems as if in this ancient war, the the dragons and the gods interacted with each other enough so that, well, Drenton, known to have twisted the mind and the hearts of Orban, the husband of Valessa, that he also kind of worked on the motivations in the hearts of the dragons to get them to work towards his ends.
Tula says, well, I guess if there is a connection between Drenton and the dragons, if someone was interested in raising the dragons, and excuse me while I drop my accent as I think about this, excuse me while I put my fingers together. I guess Dustforge would be the place to go. Seems like there's a connection between the dragons and Dustforge.
Very well, maybe.
I am going to try to talk to Remy now through the telescope.
Oh my gosh.
Great. Go ahead and make another intelligence check.
Nope. That's a 4 plus 5, 9.
Okay.
You forget the words are.
Yeah.
That wasn't a 4.
I would. I think it's safe to say you spend about an hour with Farragrand and the two of you, because I would imagine you're very desperate to just hold on to this and keep trying. And whether she can't respond or you have not made the connection, you're not sure. But what are you saying as you were trying to reach out?
Remy? Hello?
Just every
Can... For an hour.
Still there.
Yeah, I mean, just variations on like, can you hear me? Are you there? Is anyone there? Is this Remy? Any basic variations on it? Trying to contact.
Yeah. At no point are you responded to or confirmed that any of that was heard by her.
Okay, well, I guess at the end of kind of when I give up, or before like stopping to try to make the connection, then I would just say, "Do not worry, Remy. There is help on the way." And I step away from the telescope.
Okay. Anything else here with Farragrand?
No, I don't think so. Unless he has something else to say.
I know that you all are leaving in the morning. Just want to say I wish you both the greatest in safety and protection in your travels. I know that you're well accompanied with the rest of your troop. I hope you return.
Thank you, Farragrand.
So do we.
Please let Martha know it would have never worked.
No.
Tula goes, wow.
That is something you'll have to tell her yourself. I don't have the heart for it.
Very well. And I pull out my notebook and I take out a piece of paper and I write those words on it. And then I fold it up and I hand it to him. And I bow and I leave.
Tula does the same.
You take out a piece of paper and you write down it would never work between
She was
us.
a witness. Yeah. She was my notary public.
No, I notarized it.
The Kalishtar are a very strange people. Tucks it away. Okay. Then the group meets back together at the Half Shat. Dinner is ready for you by the time you're getting back. And one of the large legs of dried meat is kind of reheated and cooked over a bunch of potatoes and corn. And then also separate from that, one singularly large mushroom is steamed and then kind of hollowed out and filled with steamed and seasoned vegetables and provided for you as well.
Whoa. Is it just Sarah or are there more people now?
It was just Sarah.
She's just
Do you like her more now?
Extra cooking. I guess it's. I'll eat it.
Any conversation or notes from the Last Supper that you all have?
Whoa! Alright, we're going there.
I guess we're dying tomorrow, guys.
Wow. Which of our friends from Populous will betray us with a kiss tomorrow?
Yeah,
Who's Judas?
It's Martha.
Martha!
After you hurt
The whole
her.
time.
Somewhere over the rest door.
Yeah. People say who hurt you, and she says Pilgrim.
I find her full name in the archives, and it's Martha Iscariot.
It's Martha Helena.
Alonarith, yeah.
There it is.
She's the ancient dragon.
Oh no.
They can change
So
it.
now y'all don't talk at all or anything.
Do we know where we're meeting in the morning? Like
Yeah.
outside of?
Yeah.
Okay.
Hey guys. What's up, everybody? There you go.
I
Okay.
mean, I guess just like casually would recount our trip to the archives and what was learned about vampires and dragons, and then just recounting through the day and kind of the casual over dinner summation of like, seems like Dustforge would have a lot to say about vampires and dragons. Oh, another thing. This is now zooming into while I was saying all of that. Another thing. It would seem, if Fergrand's information is accurate from Rini, the other Kalishtar, who is perhaps being held prisoner in Dustforge, under Dustforge, that she's being kept in some sort of laboratory. Now, I do not know if this has any similarities or connections to the laboratory that we battled the Truloth and Abeloth inside of. I hope that they are two entirely separate laboratories, but we will have our work cut out for us in and under Dustforge.
Julia's kind of twirling her fork, and she kind of like leans and says to Pilgrim, "Do you think there's any way that I don't know much about like the Husstones and all that, but do you think there's any way that the connection between the Husstones and the Kalishtar could be used to bring back a dragon? Like, why would they be experimenting on her? Is there some connection?"
The spirit, the essence, the consciousness of a person can certainly be preserved through husk stones. My people certainly did not have access to dragons, but if the husk stone as a vessel could be able to hold the consciousness of one being, it would be foolish to think that the consciousnesses of other beings could not also be preserved, though it seems that what you suggest would take a very powerful magical item. And I would tremble to think of the danger of such a thing.
Julia's mouth is full. She can't answer you. But
Yeah.
I have a question. Would I have been I know I was alive for one of the wars. Have dragons existed in my lifetime?
No.
No. That was before the war that happened.
The world was created after dragons, right? Or that we know of.
The world, well, I don't know exactly what all of your characters know about this, specifically for your character.
Yeah.
The war that you were young, very young around, and when you had spent your time away from your family, that war that was going on was between specifically just some of the gods and then people who rallied behind those gods.
Okay.
The Draconic War happened maybe 1 to 2 generations of elves before that war.
Okay, got it. But there would have been elves alive when I was younger that would have seen dragons.
Possibly.
And I probably would know some stories.
There was a lot of like knowledge and stories told about dragons among your family and people, but I don't think you would have had like a first person.
It would have been more of a like lore
Mm-hmm.
type of thing.
Yeah.
Then.
Is there anything specific that you're trying to recall from that?
I'm just trying to get what my feel is on knowledge of dragons and how much I do or don't know.
Yeah, I was gonna ask everybody about that.
You can do a history check.
Whoa, I guess that's cool.
So it's part of wisdom. Or no, it is part of intelligence. So.
13 plus
What's face ID?
plus 1. 14.
Okay. From hearing some of the stuff that Pilgrim is sharing, even some of the stuff with Szrazel and Drenton, and the fact that a dragon and a god had some type of camaraderie or shared efforts, in your own kind of scorned opinion and feeling that you take against the gods, this kind of rekindles and reminds you that in the midst of all of that, the only two beings ever in the world to achieve such high levels of like power and manipulation of beings in the world are the gods and the dragons. And the stories that were told too of the war with the dragons was specifically this war was kind of the apex battle between people and the dragons of like, okay, we can both be extremely powerful and dominant over this world. We're kind of fighting to see who gets what territory and who gets what power over the other. And so the gods were kind of around, kind of distant during that. Some chose to be involved, some didn't. But then you and some others in the clan too, or family, or however you defined that, I can't remember. Tribe, yeah. Some very devout, very religious in support of some of the gods. Others very rebellious and anti-god. One thing that kind of sticks out to you about this too was that some of the strongest arguments to be anti-gods and anti-dragons was the fact that like that war happened, the gods could have protected people but didn't. And then even the kind of the downfall of that was this big continued split of now people fighting with other people and the gods not being really unified too. That you see all of that power and all of that history is just like people need to get their shit together. Like what was even happening during all like for two major wars to be happening and as your specific history too of leaving and coming back and none of your family being there is like what is even happening to the world where these things are taking precedence over just life and living?
Thank you.
I was going to ask a similar question. Are dragons animals?
Not in the way that you're tied to beasts.
Okay. I was wondering if there was like a history that druids had in relationship to
so there's
if they were animals.
Make a nature check as well. We can kind of go through some of that. Depending on what you roll.
No, that's only an 8.
Okay. I'll say just in general, for being a druid and looking at the relationship between just beasts and nature and dragons, like dragons are natural in the sense that like they come from this natural world, develop and are in relationship with the environment. Generally speaking though, this is like one of the most powerful apex predators that could exist in an environment in a way that they also have no care or thought at what their impact or destruction of the environment would be. And so for you as a druid, you would see them as like if in knowing what they're capable of, you'd see them as an absolute threat to any type of environment you'd be trying to protect or preserve.
Just like the Targaryen.
Sure.
Wait, I had a follow-up question. One of the dragons. I was trying to figure out where to start. One of the dragons is connected to Valessa. Is that right?
Which
Did
one?
you say that earlier?
Today?
I can't remember. Yeah.
No, I said one of the gods was married to her, Orban.
Okay.
Yeah.
Trenton.
Whoa, who married them?
Valessa.
Who performed the ceremony?
But
There is an answer to that question.
Valessa was the god that's referenced in the journal that he gave me.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
She's connected to dragons now.
Not from anything that you're tied to. No.
Okay. That's it. I'm done.
Yep.
Vampires are connected to Orban. I remember that.
Orban?
From the
Orban.
Odin.
Orban.
And all weird creatures.
Did you have something else you wanted to say?
Nope.
Okay. Jay?
I was going to talk to the group about dragons, because like my parents. I mean, I'm into dragons. I think they're cool and real, but my parents make fun of me for that. So it's like really cool to be with a bunch of people who also are like into dragons and like totally believe in them.
Did we decide as a group that we're into dragons?
It's just you're talking about dragons. Well, you're not, but you guys are. And
I never understood the hesitancy to believe in dragons. We have interacted with the Dragonborn, who we know descended from dragons.
I mean, but like
Dragons
they're all
existed.
dead.
It was a war that happened.
We have alligators. You know,
Agreed.
there's no dinosaurs.
It's so long ago that there are many that don't fully believe their existence. It's a recency bias towards stupidity.
Well, there you go.
I was like, I'm confused by this question about whether or not they exist or
Right,
believe
dancing, they were
in
like,
them.
it was like current UFOs.
I know, I'm talking about Lorelai.
Oh, gotcha.
I'm in
You're so old.
Well, you probably know the most, yeah.
Right?
It's an insane like how some believe that the earth is round. Just kidding.
Yeah. Crazy talk.
Pilgrim's on a flat earth.
Confirmed.
There are people that don't think the war happened.
What war?
There are let's put it a different way. There are some who cannot read.
What is history? What are you talking about?
You don't know about the war?
I don't know anything.
How old are you?
20.
Oh my
Is
god.
there any connection between the other planes and dragons? Like, would Tilly have known about dragons or anything from...
Oh boy.
Because otherwise, I'm gonna play it like she learned about them 6 days ago.
Yeah. One deep pool.
Dragon.
Make a history check with advantage. I know you've done really well in your studies. It's your time at the academy.
Contrary to all popular belief.
There can't be dragons because it's impossible to fly. Well, birds fly.
20.
What?
20 total. Okay. There was, and the name has come up, and you're familiar with it. This Szrazel dragon is. It had to be Szrazel. It could not have been any of the other ones.
Szrazel.
Sounds like the evil Sour Patch Kid.
I might have to make a Dragon
I
Tales
think
joke.
it
Like,
sounds like an enemy or a mob boss from a Fosse musical, and then he would just jazz hands at you aggressively.
Wow.
Give him the old Szrazel, dazzle,
Oh no!
Szrazel, dazzle.
That dragon snapping as he flies over.
you better have a Chicago accent.
Fast forward like 80 episodes, and for some reason you're fighting Szrazel and wiping the floor.
He looks like Charlie Chaplin.
So
You always know
He has
there's
a
a
top
saxophone
hat
on
that
the
he
way.
keeps doing this with, and we don't know why.
So Szrazel was actually brought to your plane. And at some point, there was a time where,
Which I
again,
definitely know the name of.
Plane being like
Apori,
Is that the city or the plane?
the plane.
Okay.
The city, I don't remember at this point. We have looked back and remembered that, but it's fine. And your plane is also specifically tied to Drenton. So when that happened, and this was probably 8 to 15 generations ago from y'all's plane of existence. That what has kind of lingered and been told. And you've actually seen a statue to Szrazel as part of the academy and teaching and talking about Drenton's influence and the two of them kind of in tandem through the Draconic Wars as... Oh, I'm so sorry. No, I'm getting this mixed up. Okay. Szrazel being kind of the dragon that, amongst all of the dragons that have been named and in power, was one that actually had an effort to see Drenton restored to power after the... I'm so sorry. I'm getting completely backwards on this. Let me just restart.
And out.
That's me.
Give him the old Szrazel, dazzle.
Alright, we're back to that.
Szrazel, dazzle.
This is not what I wanted. I'm so sorry, I messed up. Okay.
Play me in.
So yeah.
Szrazel.
That Drenton is
I'm
actually
going backwards.
as you're looking back to your studies and kind of recalling the influence of Drenton and the relationship that he had with dragons, Szrazel was seen as a great victory by Drenton. That his influence and his ability to, this word corrupt has been thrown a lot around Drenton, that he had this power to him to just like bring others to see things his way, to join his side and to collaborate with him, and to do that with a dragon, and to get an ancient dragon to join sides with anyone is a huge feat. And so the plane, the city that you were in, the kind of the lore, the celebration, the reverence to Drenton, no one has ever been able to somewhat tame or even work in tandem with a dragon, ever. And it is seen as a testament to Drenton that his ability and negotiation and collaboration to be able to do that is highly praised.
Tuli says, y'all, I'm so stupid. I literally just remembered this. I really thought about it, and I remembered it.
I really thought about it.
And I share, like,
I've seen every
well, I say we have, like, a long history of, like, Drenton and Szrazel. We actually call them Dazzle in our city. And we have, like, festivals, like a Dazzle festival, and, like, it's a whole thing.
You can get Drizzle Drizzle on your ice cream.
You ship Dazzle.
Dip in Dazzles. And then she says, I'm not really much of a Drenton apologist, so I'm not gonna, like, you know, talk him up. But where I come from, people are big fans, and so that means he's bad news. And that's all I say.
Wow, you know all the dragons' names?
She named one dragon.
I don't think I've ever, in my memory as I search it, I don't think I've ever seen Dazzle. So Drenton or Szrazel.
Right.
Szrazel.
Yeah, I've never had, like, you know, like an encounter.
Yeah, for sure.
You know,
But
like the third kind or whatever. But
all this to say,
but it'd be sick to do one, to have one, to see one.
I have a feeling we would probably die like right after, though, knowing what I do about Drenton and Szrazel.
Oh.
But it'd be cool for like 10 seconds, though.
Pretty metal.
I agree. Yeah, it'd be super metal. Yeah, so we resumes eating.
Well, I am going to retire and prepare
You're so young.
for tomorrow's journey.
But I'm
And I
just
excuse
saying
myself.
really quick when it made sense before you leave.
Before I leave.
As far as just a reminder, Treya is a really powerful and high influential lady, so we're going on this intimate trip of traveling. We'll be together with her, and so I would just say our behavior should be wise and respectful.
Got it.
She lingers on misery.
You can hear
No.
Kelsey in the corner. She like slowly stretching a little bit.
Someone said we're going underground.
To the mole people.
Is that true?
I'm standing up now. Yes.
It was you? You can
Yes.
leave.
We will
Good
be...
night.
Dustforge is underground.
Man.
Yeah,
As Misery, I don't know what's going
it
to happen.
is.
That's
I
all.
think it's like a series of caves, or at least it has a series of
Dustforge,
caves.
Well-
as I understand it, is underground.
Back to the darkness.
Yes, indeed. Sleep well. I leave.
Now we kill some vampires.
Tilly says, does anyone want to play Flip Flagon?
I would love to play Florp Floven.
It's like Flip Cup. Fantasy Flip Cup.
I thought it
I was just sitting by the
nonsense
fire quietly, kind of heating it up with little gusts of wind. Do we know how long the journey is?
At least
Tomorrow?
2 nights.
Okay. Woo! Okay, cool.
On
We're
the
gonna pay for
road.
this, right?
I think we literally are.
I mean,
There is a knock
like-
at the door.
Slate.
You can hear a little metal kind of banging on the main front doors of the half shaft. And Sarah just, you all continue talking. I'll probably send these folks away. It seems late, but
I get up and I follow behind her, like, an appropriate amount to let her do her job, but
I'm surprised Wolfie didn't growl.
Watching, yes. Also, Wolfie. Wolfie is not lingering back. He is next to her.
Okay, yep. As you get to the front door, there's a metal slit that goes open where she can see face to face, but without opening the actual door.
Color.
So, hello, who is it? You can hear a familiar voice from outside, and you can pick it up. You're close enough to hear Munkin speaking through it. Hello. I just wanted to, converse with any of the half dozen, but at least to drop something off for them. Are they available? No, they're not available tonight.
Sarah, actually, he can come in.
They are available. I'm so sorry. Laura, I did not mean to. I'm so sorry.
That's okay. I'm glad I came.
And then she opens the main door, and Munkin just, well.
Welcome to this house that Cicero made us get. This is Sarah. She is a staff member.
It was wonderful to meet you. And he bows towards her and just kind of touches up on his chest, and then Strogoth paws up on him, and he's petting him, having this full-on embrace with Wolfie as he's welcomed into the main entry hall. This is the kind of receiving room of y'all's property, and so there's plenty of places to sit and talk there, but she immediately kind of just steps in and sits, gets Wolfie, and Wolfie kind of spirals and sits on the side. Mainly just wanted to give you kind of this piece that I was working on I told you about, but wanted to make sure I knew you were leaving in the morning here. And then he hands up this other containment chamber that he had been working on. You've seen in his academy, but has not formally given, and nobody has taken it yet. So, what is, I know y'all are leaving in the morning. How long will you be gone? Do you know what you were doing? What all are you getting involved in?
Wow. Those are fantastic questions. And I have answers for all of them. And I tell him everything. We're going to Dust Forge to forge dust with Treya Lilarian.
Yes.
To
You said
fight vampires, maybe, and also Pilgrim's friend Remy is trapped there. We're getting paid to do this. I don't know. I was in the woods when Treya talked to them. Here, let's go into the dining room where everyone is, and maybe our full group can give you a full recap of what it is we're doing.
I don't need to be that involved. It's okay. Let's
you're involved now. Let's go.
Oh boy! Make a persuasion check for the fun of it to see if you get to pull him in, or if he kind of keeps this conversation between the two of you. Just beat a 10.
19.
Great. Okay. Cool. And you kind of as you start moving, Wolfie starts running into the room, and he's just looking down. And he goes, and he gets up from the chair and follows you all in. Hey!
Guys, Munkin's here.
Okay.
Munkin!
Welcome.
He brought us a box.
Well, and if you open the box, inside of it is a jar, kind of a vessel. It's another containment chamber as a gift for the one that is sitting at the bottom of the lake.
Mm-hmm.
You gave us a gift for losing one of your things?
No, it's a gift to you before you leave.
Oh, thanks. Hey, Munkin was asking me about our journey that's happening soon, and I think it would be great to get the whole group's input on what it is we're doing and why we're doing it, and most of the information about it, because I was in the woods.
Do you
Nope,
want us
not
to
misery.
text
I don't
something
want
in the
misery
containment chamber?
to answer this question.
Well,
I would
actually, he brings up a very good point.
anyone else.
Really, the only thing I was really interested in out of this whole exchange was just to ask, as you go on this wild adventure...
Catch a vampire?
I mean, I don't think that would work.
Okay.
However, if you see any beast, creature, animal of interest that seems completely different from this area, which I believe you'd be able to identify and recognize. I would love to study it.
I don't think he wants a dragon.
And this device is made so that it could be safely transported, and you are going to a distant and different place I've never been. So, I would be willing to pay for, well, whatever creature you capture that, depending on its rarity and interest to me, if you would capture something and bring that back in one piece without being lost at the vessel of some deep water
How does
place.
it fit in it?
So this isn't
Magic.
a gift.
Science?
So,
This
and
is
he takes you aside and just kind of
attached.
shows you some of the magic of it. And as he explains it, there's an
Accidentally
enchantment
gets sucked in.
within the bottle that changes the size
Honey, I
of the
shrunk the
creature
monkey.
and safely then captures it within the bottle. Where it also explains to you too that the creature's still alive and moving, and you can see it through the bottle too. And it just kind of gets reshaped and replaced within it, where it's safe and protected within it. It can be easily traveled around.
That is
It's like
fascinating.
Honey, I Shrunk the
How much
Kids.
would you pay for a...
He doesn't want a dragon.
I would pay $1 million gold.
$1 million gold, everyone!
I've heard it.
Great.
I would.
If we stumble upon a dragon, we'll let you know.
I throw a stick at Misery.
From within the home. A flaming log.
Misery is on
He
fire.
picked up the fireplace and threw it at you, and now Misery's dead. What a world!
Womp womp.
Ouchies.
I don't recall from the first time as we were successful. Can it hold more than one critter, or would they kill each other in there?
One medium or smaller sized creature.
Oh, so you can...
Medium,
Yeah.
or
dragon
smaller.
thing.
Yeah.
Just...
Not dragon size.
If you find a medium dragon,
Probably not even a crack.
That could be, yeah.
They shape-change.
Not even babies.
A wyvern?
Wait, so what's medium to... This is outside.
Wolfie's probably medium.
Humans
yeah.
are medium.
Because originally we wanted a chulot to go in one of these.
Yeah.
Those are medium
Yeah,
size?
size, right?
yeah.
But the Abeloth is like...
Anything, like, generally speaking, anything within the, like, I think 4 to, 9 foot range in general is still
Okay.
medium. Anything 10 feet
Yeah.
or larger.
A human cannot be 9 feet tall.
No, I mean, come
So
on.
if we find like a 9'9"
Dragon. $1 million gold.
But it won't
Giant.
fit in the container.
It must be a baby.
Well, a giant is a giant.
I'm just saying something.
This is
that's
how we
9
ended
feet
up
tall.
spending 3
They
hours
all are assigned
debating
the
a
size.
contract.
We don't do it.
Thank you.
Of course, it seems appropriate.
We appreciate it.
Great.
And-
The place is lovely, even though I've been in 1, 2, 3 rooms at this point.
Please don't go in my room.
I will. That was Dan thinking while Munkin was talking.
Monkey, would you like some of Sarah's lovely meal to go, perhaps?
I've already eaten. I appreciate that.
Okay.
Learning to cook has, I mean, not learning, I knew how to cook, but like learning to cook again has
Brag.
been, well. Zavarin is missing.
I was gonna say, well, I guess that answers my question about whether or not you've heard anything from or of her.
I have spent a good amount of gold getting people out across town looking for her, and nothing has come back.
You know, Pilgrim, you're not in the room anymore.
I like to think that I stopped in the doorway when I heard the door knock, so I'm standing.
You're
up.
standing
You
here.
like to think that.
Eavesdropping, in other words.
Great. Pilgrim and our friend Fairgrant have a magic telescope that can communicate to people when we don't know where they are.
Do you know that?
Yeah, she does.
Yeah,
Okay.
because he told us about talking to
Oh, you're
gods
right,
and
right.
stuff, and to that he tried to talk to Remy.
Yeah. Interesting.
So
Seems like sensitive information.
I wonder
Yeah, I was
if
gonna say Tuli's stressed.
Yeah.
No, Rachel's stressed. Tuli could not care less.
can you hear me?
I'm standing there looking at you like this. Pilgrim is.
Can we use it to try to find Zavarin? She's been missing for many weeks now. Since we killed the
4
Abeloth.
days.
Actually, yeah.
No, it's like 3
It's been a
weeks.
couple weeks.
Oh yeah, I forgot.
It's been like almost a month.
That's
Well.
let's get involved.
Well, Fairground did use it to amplify the ability to connect with my mind, And I don't know if he necessarily knew exactly where I was. Well, he couldn't have. When I was walking around Populous, he just connected with me and started making demands, so I would...
He also didn't know where the gods were either that he connected you with, right?
This is true. We simply picked up on their voice and speaking, and he was able to connect with Rini. I at least I hope. I still haven't been able to make contact with Rini. I still don't know if she's real. I'm taking Fairgrand's word at this, but...
Are you trying to figure out the science of this?
I'm externally processing the
That
possibility
is
of
magic.
using the magic telescope to... I believe we might be able to. Perhaps.
Cool. Well, we're gonna be gone for some weeks.
We are, but, Munkin, you could certainly go talk to Fairgrand
And I intend to.
and have my blessing.
Oh.
Though I am sure you didn't ask for it.
And Martha's. Tell him
Oh my god.
that Pilgrim said hi to
Enough.
Martha.
That's it. You don't need to do that.
Manipulation.
Okay then. Well,
No, I think that
It
he'll
does
get a
not have
better
a...
chance.
There's no letter from me, and it hasn't been signed by a notary public, so there's no way to know if it's true.
I think that she would still take someone's word for it.
Good night. Now I do.
Finally.
I think that's worth checking out.
I absolutely will, and thank you for connecting me to what may very well be the tool I could use to find her.
Networking. Just
Stop.
kidding, she doesn't say that.
So is that, should we like come up with another name than the telescope? Like the noteworthy spying appliance?
Whoa.
Or like the NSA?
Ah! Was that all for that?
Yes.
Cool, so we don't have to come up with something other than telescope.
And Starlight.
Big brother. Right, no, that's a great connection and lead. I have worked with Fairgrand a time or two through our connections with different jobs and relations with Populous. So, well, it's been a while since we've talked, but this is promising.
Well, great. I hope that it goes well. I'm sorry I can't be here to further the search for this.
I understand you are capable and great people. Go off to do great things.
If you happen upon her while we're gone, tell her that I'll fix her door when we get back.
Oh, yes. I'll get on that, actually.
Or she can stay at the tower, the school, whatever it's called.
Onyx Spiller Academy.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
The pillar.
Great. Sounds good. Off to bed. Good.
Thanks for coming by.
Yes, and again, congratulations.
Thank you.
Thanks for coming by.
No, I said
Oh, he's gone.
No, thank you.
No. We'll bring you back
Okay, people head off to bed.
Yes.
And
Yeah, we're playing flag again.
flipping cups and all of whatnot.
What's a
and-
cup?
Right? I said flag.
And morning comes earlier for you all feeling than it does for everybody else, but Sarah,
He's not letting you roleplay this out. We got other shit to do. Sorry.
Clear, I don't want to. We do it.
and Sarah makes a heavy intention to actually walk around and wake all of you up as
Oh no.
somebody made a note to make sure that y'all had plenty of time to get ready. And so she does not pinch your toes.
She's just another uncle, man.
But what
no toes.
feels like maybe the 8th or 9th time of her knocking on your door and misery.
What?
Finally, okay, get up and get ready. It's time to go. You have to meet a very important person.
Isn't it Saturday?
I don't, sure, yes, but it's a work day nonetheless.
Fantasy Saturday.
Oh right, vampires. All right, I'm motivated.
Can Rachel ask a question?
Yes.
Is there...
Rachel.
I think that... did we say that Treya was going to requisition supplies for us for the trip? Or like...
What type of supplies are you thinking?
So specifically, I'm wondering... It's way too late for us to do anything about it if not, but I'm wondering if she'll have like health potions or
Okay.
things like that. Yeah.
Velen woke up early to cook some treats for the trip.
There you go. Okay. talk through that.
A
So
little something special in these brownies.
Thelen cooks up 3 treats that will, well, I don't know how long these ones last. I would rather do these.
Oh, they do.
There's cooked treats and special food.
Like how
I
Marty eats
imagine
his
the one with the
special
long
food.
rest is better than the one with the short rest. Correct.
Mommy's
Oh,
special.
sure. But it just depends on like when.
What do you know about Adderall?
So the long rest.
You ever tried
I think the other ones have to be eaten almost immediately.
Yeah. So these are during a long rest, which
Which we just did.
What you just did now.
Yeah.
You can cook a number of treats.
8 hours is how long.
Last 8 hours. Yeah. So
I
for
can make
this.
3 of them.
Okay. Yeah. For this particular full day. Yeah, you can provide this food, and what is the proficiency bonus? So anyone who can see proficiency plus, is it +3 right now? Mm-hmm. Okay, so Thelen, you have 3 treats that you've cooked up. That when somebody eats, they get 3 temporary hit points.
Right. Okay. So I woke up early, just preparing
Yeah.
to do that kind of thing. Stuff them in my satchel or whatever, just to have prepared, just in case we need.
And Tuli, if you wanted to request some potions to be bought or provided as part of it, we can like kind of retro and get that ready. They will cost a regular healing potion, which would be, you can do a regular healing potion for 50 gold or a greater healing potion for 100 gold. And I can tell you the difference between those right now. Regular healing potion heals 2d4 plus 2. Greater healing potion heals 4d4 plus 4. You can buy any number of those that y'all would want to as a party. Regular healing potions would cost 50. Greater healing potions would cost 100.
Let's just get 100 of greater and owe him.
This is America.
This is not. This is populous. We don't do that here.
Do we think that Treya would bring some with her?
I'm cool with none. I think we'll survive. But.
Yeah, so Treya wouldn't have any probably.
This would be through Treya, her providing them, if you were able to give her the money to get them.
Gotcha.
We're supposed to be.
Could we? I would ask the party this: could we take them against our future pay from Treya, or is she not into that?
You don't believe in my magic?
Do you have healing spells?
Yeah.
Oh.
It's a 2-day trip.
And so does Thelen.
It's a 2-day trip.
Okay.
So I feel like we definitely won't need it the first day.
Okay.
I mean, I could be.
2 days on the road to get to where you're going.
Right.
And then some amount of
come
time.
across
2 days back.
goblins or.
I'll like roleplay this as Tuli is very nervous after she died that one time. But she's also
Why? I
very
don't
like
understand.
convinced by people, so she's like, yeah, you're right. You guys are right.
Mm-hmm.
You'll never die again.
I also, well, I don't sleep a lot, so when I woke up, which was not long after I left, I spent the night using, is it fair to say that there are enough herbs and stuff in this place, or that I would have gotten from Brendan's house, that I would use my herbalism kit to make some stuff?
Sure.
Some healing stuff.
You still have the same like stats of that I provided before for the healing kits that you get. Maybe. Can't remember if you still have some as well. That you could just increase your inventory of it. But
I
either way.
have 2 restorative ointments.
Okay, great. Roll a nature check.
Nature. You can tell it's a restorative equipment because we know that it is.
13 plus 4 is 17.
Great, you can add 2 more.
Great dice.
That makes how many?
4.
So the party was not interested in buying any type of healing potions?
Oh, sorry, I had 3.
Okay, now you have 5.
Yeah, I had 5.
Okay, great. As you all are collecting back into the dining area, getting ready with some light breakfast, as it's mostly just toasted bread and some type of like fruit compost to spread on top of it. You hear?
Compost?
Yes,
Did you say compost?
I said compote.
Okay.
Cardboard.
For compost, I was like,
It is moldy bananas on top of bread. Sarah's new at this. You can hear some voices down in the dining room. One of them familiar, You can hear that Treya is already in there, and then every once in a while a male voice does speak up too. And as you all walk into the room and see Sarah serving some people with even more levels of respect and dignity to her than she was with you all, which is surprising because she was already putting on such a very great reverence towards you all. You can see Treya, and then who eventually they two introduce themselves, one Turk and the other is Singe. You see immediately on them golden capes.
Oh, I know what that means.
Yes. Great.
Tell me again.
In also the very well decorated and polished metal armor of the guards, you can see that she has 2 guards at her side who are both standing in attention while also rejecting bread from Sarah. And Treya seems very comfortable in sitting down, but these two are standing directly behind her at the chair and still conversing. But Treya sees some of y'all enter the room. Morning, and I hope you all rested well. I thank you, Sarah, for the breakfast, but the sooner we can leave the better. We should be getting onto the road just to make this as quick as possible. We want to be able to make a camp before sunfall, so the greatest distance that we can make the better. Treya is wearing a fur-lined leather trench coat, and you can see this very thick, curly wool on the inside of it. She's worn kind of a long leather trench coat before, but she seems already ready for the cold weather. You can also see kind of sticking out just beyond the edge of it that she does have some form of rapier that you can recognize as a similar weapon to you, just kind of tucked underneath, and you can just see the tip of it underneath of the trench coat. Well, grab your food and let's get to it. The cart is just outside and we can get onto the road.
This is very Van Helsing.
That one's already outside petting the horses.
Glenn will be sure to thank Sarah for the meal.
Okay. Done. Breakfast is had. The cart is filled.
Let's freaking go!
Let's freaking go! Yeah, I'm
And we
anxious to
are
get on the road.
leaving Populous.
My dream come true! And getting paid to do it.
And getting paid to do it. So the horses are already set. The cart is stored up. The sitting space that you all have is maybe, let me think about this, maybe 8 feet long and 4 feet wide. So for a cart, massive, and it's completely enclosed. There's a back door that you all can take some steps up into, and then there's benches that line the entire thing. There's a small adjustable wooden window that can be slid open to talk to the 2 guards who sit up front to then steer the horses and take care of the cart. But as you all fill in, it is you all in the perimeter of this chamber, with the benches being very comfortable. It's plush, that there are thick cushions and even back cushions set up. There's a storage area underneath that kind of slides out, and then there's different chests and stuff underneath of the bench too that you can slide open the drawers and store anything that you would need to, which you can see Treya doing. And getting into this room is a couple of the lanterns inside are lit up too. Very quickly it gets warm inside of this from some of the smaller fires that are lit up in it. Treya ditches the thick leather trench coat and kind of lays that down to her side, stores the rapier underneath in the drawer underneath of her where she is sitting. And after about an hour or so of you all getting comfortable and sorted out inside, the cart has been moving this entire time. And then eventually kind of a stillness.
Where's Oba and Shuka? In the middle?
If you want them inside, they can get inside, or they can just trot along.
Are we
inside.
galloping or walking? What speed are the horses going?
It's a casual walking pace.
Okay.
Yeah.
I feel like
Wolfie's probably
Thelen could walk and keep up with them.
Yeah.
Okay. I feel like he's probably either outside walking or hanging on to some sort of rope or something that ties it together. Maybe on a step or something decided that's probably doing that.
It would be entirely possible to climb up on top of it and be sitting there, but yeah.
Is there any sort of back seat, outdoor way to sit on the back of it?
The stairs are kind of always there, even though the door is shut. You could be outside of the door to sitting there, but
with your feet this far from the ground.
Well, I just last time, because I'm a very perceptive lad.
Perceptive lad.
I think I said Prosecco.
Perceptive.
You said perceptive.
Perceptive.
Both times.
perceptive.
No, wait, let's hash this out. What?
Yeah, I just think kind of that lookout role. I would just kind of sit on the back and both to kind of continue my little pensive state and also just kind of scanning around as we go along.
You fall off and we never realize it.
Fall off right in my head.
That's the thing. If somebody does like forcefully open the door, it's gonna hit Totem square in the back.
Oh,
Nice.
good. Well, I am there anyways.
Roll a perception check for just the beginning couple of hours into the
For the journey. All right. Well,
I was gonna say, I think I'm also, because Wolfie would want to be walking alongside, because of who I am, I think I would want to walk alongside with him,
Sure.
ready with my bow for any dangers.
3 plus 9, 12.
Okay. Down to just
More than mine. Yeah, mine's a 2.
Should I also
You can do one as well.
Oh, 3
Okay.
plus.
We're all clearly distracted.
Hold on.
Yeah.
Hold on. It's gonna matter.
12.
Plus 6.
Oh! 10 and 9.
You all can hear kind of just an awkward small talk conversation between Turk and Sin, where it's just like, man, it's been a while since I've been out of the city, and then they're like, yeah, I'm kind of excited. Kind of excited for this trip. I'm tired of eating fish and lettuce. And the other one's like, yeah, man, like the produce here at Populous is just basic, and the other one's like,
so basic.
yeah, what kind of food do you think they have in Dust Forge? And I was like, man, I got no idea. But like, and then they start to kind of drift off into this like conspiracy about the vampires thing. And Turk immediately
got blood stew there.
Turk immediately admits, he's like, man, this whole vampire thing is kind of freaking me out. And then Singe, the other one, is like, it's all just weird talk. I think we'll be fine. Just stick to the mission. We will keep Treya safe and do what we need to do. And it's like kind of that awkward ending point where it's like one of them is not quite comforting the other, but that you all are distant and not a part of the conversation, but you can just hear that happening in the front of the cart.
Huh.
Inside the cart, we've got Gwenlyn, we've got Thule, we've got Misery, and Treya. And,
Oh gosh.
What times inside?
Gwenlyn feels the weight of responsibility in this conversation. And fortunately for you, Treya just still the daughter of farmers and support work at the vineyard, going off on an adventure.
Yes, ma'am.
It's really encouraging and fascinating to see you taking on this line of work. What got you interested in, I guess, mercenary work or bodyguard, or what do you see yourself as?
More of a businesswoman of where opportunity leads. I make my own brews to sell throughout Populous. I'm not in competition with wine, of course. Totally different audience, different realm.
So says, yeah.
And you know, some event planning, which you know do at the vineyard sometimes, and then met these just lovely folks, and just you know found ourselves helping with the crabs and whatnot, and
The crabs and
I got some strength on me, so I was able to help with some protection, and happy to be with you, ma'am.
I found that, well, and I first commend you and highly respect the work that you all have been doing. It seems like, you know, aimlessly taking anything, you know, is one way to go, but I really have found it that grasping onto one particular direction and continuing to go that way, well, that's the way of success.
Sure, yeah. I come from a place where people only do one thing and may not live up to their full potential, so I figure while I'm young, try some different skill sets, pursue from there to a one successful route, as you said.
Well, I do hope that you find that route then, and I thank you for joining me on mine.
Thank you.
Awkward moment as I fix this thing.
Did it unplug anything?
No, I didn't plug it.
I'm gonna
No,
say
I didn't plug it.
Oh, I thought it was me, but it wasn't.
I'm like awkwardly face to face with this camera in front of me now.
cut this out.
That's just face to face. Anyway.
I wanna take
I'm gonna say that Thule is casting control flames, and she's like, Misery, look. She's trying to like create a small flame dragon and like have it like fly. I'm like, it's Szrazel.
Is that what a dragon looks like?
It's like, Thule's like, Misery, did you go to high school?
For a little bit.
Okay, yes, that's what a dragon looks like.
What's high school?
It's where you eat special treats.
Does a dragon have a top hat?
Oh no.
No, the dragon does not have a top hat.
They seem energetic and playful.
Always.
We sure are.
I was just
Thule
excited.
right there.
Yeah, we're very close together, right?
Yes.
Yeah, I'm just excited that I'm on an adventure and I'm leaving Populous and I'm with my new best friends and everything just feels really good.
Everything's coming up misery.
Everything's coming up misery, and you know what else? I'm gonna let you say things before I do my nice thing.
You can read the face that she's giving you, though it doesn't have the same amount of like judgment that you feel like when your parents stare at you, but it has that same level of like deep understanding that they were just like gaining information from just looking you over. Like when you come back late at like 2 a.m. and you're like, nothing, everything's fine, and they just look at you and they're just like, okay, like that. You get that kind of sense from her. And she just says, why are you happy to leave Populous?
Oh, you know, I mean, you lived in Populous, right? For a long time?
Near and around it all my life?
Same. And it's, I don't know, it's just, there's nothing to do. Everything is boring, and I've done it all, and all the people are boring and mean, and don't want to be my friend, and I don't know. You know, my parents live there, so there's no reason to be near them. Have you heard of the Burnesses? What's the company called?
The Burness Estate.
No, he has a
It's the Cross and Shield.
the cross and shield. It's like, yeah.
Yes, I have worked with Worth, and, well, I mean, he provides me with some level of safety and security on travel such as this, so quite familiar with his work.
So you know how he can be, you know, just like terrible and like mean and like doesn't let you do anything, you know, just suffocating.
What is the worst thing that's happened to you in your life?
They made me go to school. Period. No, they made me
Thule says for a little bit.
for a little bit. They made me study at the whatever it's called, it starts with an A.
The archive.
The archive. But like, I didn't want to do that. Like, when we play, or I just wanted to play music, you know, and
He's really talented.
I wanted to play the lute. I wanted to play like heavy stuff. But they just didn't appreciate that. I mean, they'll tell you that they do and that they love me and that they support me, but you can just see it in their eyes. And like, you know, if you ask me, it's just not there.
Opening up the tray more time.
I work very closely with the orphanage in Populous, and I just think it would be good for you to spend some time there.
Yeah?
Yes.
Why?
If we take a posture of learning from the experience of others around us, we learn to appreciate more what we have and what we have earned ourselves.
So he says, Lady Treya, what do you think you're learning from Misery? Choking almost started. Like, she's not trying to be condescending, she's genuinely asking.
Yeah, that's a really good point, actually. Yeah.
Well, in a matter of moments, I could say that I think that I'm, well, learning quite deeply on a personal level that, Well, I'm thankful that my disposition around the world is not where I'm constantly looking to find myself as the victim.
Dude, me too. Yeah, that's great.
Tully says, "What an experience."
I totally feel that.
Gwen looks very uncomfortable.
Would you like me to sing a traveling song?
Sure, if that's how you'd like to spend the time. Gwendolyn, at some point after this show,
She hates you.
if you would like to hear any of the information that I could brief you all on for Dustforge once we arrive, just let me know when that should begin. And until then, let us rest in the sounds of misery.
We're going on an adventure. Ba-da-da-dum, ba-dum, ba-da-dum, ba-da-dum.
Julie has a flame in her
On
hand.
an adventure, we're gonna kill some vampires. Yeah, we're gonna kill 'em and put them in a jar for Monkey to study when we get back in a couple weeks. Adventure.
At this point, there's a rock in the cart that you can feel the front of it just kind of shoot up into the air. It becomes like half airborne, where the front end comes up and then it hits the ground again. All of you that are outside of it, as you've been kind of keeping pace with it, or you've been on the back, so you kind of fall off and kind of thrust onto your feet. You don't face plant, you don't hit the ground, but just kind of lift up from you. The cart continues to move, and you just land on your feet. While Talon and Lorelith, you see the earth underneath from where the cart was going, completely down the road, and the guards that are driving it, the path was completely clear. There was nothing in the road whatsoever. And as the wheels were turning and the cart was being moved forward by the horses, immediately underneath it, the earth kind of bulbs up into a spot and rocks kind of project up, and that's where the cart like hit and kind of tilts to the side and lands back down. As it lands back down, the front right wheel breaks and sinks down forward. And so you all on the front of it, misery in the middle of your song, you get to this point, and then it's just like, and you all are just kind of tilted forward. Treya slides down, and she's like shoulder to shoulder with you because you're sitting off to her side, and she's just like, what is happening? Stands up, kind of slides the door over. The cart still kind of moving. The horses completely startled and lift up, and the guards are trying to pull them down and relax them. Immediate reactions, any thoughts, responses?
That helps calm the horses down.
Okay.
I'm immediately looking to see if there's danger.
Okay, perception check, animal handling check.
Gwen has like a hand on a weapon, but she's inside. So.
Mm-hmm.
Can I climb on top of the carriage from where I am?
Yeah, you can.
I'm gonna hop up there and just look around.
Okay, perception check as well.
21.
21. Hold on for numbers. Just roll them and have them with you.
Tuli's gonna kneel and cast mage armor on herself, and then she's gonna like bust out the door
Okay.
and like land, like looking around.
Okay, misery.
You're just assuming the death position.
I don't really say anything.
We did not buy any health potions. I know on this end.
What is
I'm
my
checking
heart?
if my loot got hit in the...
Yeah.
Your loot's fine. Okay, great. Perception checks.
19.
25.
Okay, fantastic. And your animal
21.
is 21. Okay, so the horses don't run off. You get over there, and as the guards are trying to, and one of them gets down, is like stepping down and trying to pull one of them back down to the ground. Physically, you just come up with a couple of words, and as you speak forward, the horses like look at you and immediately just feel this connection with you in the way that you're talking. And even though the ground underneath of them that you all can hear and see at this point, there's something moving within the earth. You can hear the sound and this kind of tunnel line of earth is being thrown about on the path ahead. Even though all of this earth is being cast aside and thrown around, and all of this noise and commotion is happening, you just grab the attention of the horses. You're calming them down. The cart's not running off. The horses aren't trying to break free. And then you have a weapon ready. Julie's busting out of the back of the cart. Treya, as she slides the door open, and she's trying to speak with the two guards, but they're kind of yelling out to the horses and trying to say like to calm down, to pull them back and all of that, and they finally rest. Treya also follows Julie out of the back and steps forward. What is it? What is happening? What is going on? And the earth just and still keeps dug up. A massive let's see. The creature itself looks like it's made of stone, but has kind of the face, the head of a turtle. Launches up out of the ground and lands into the area right around the horses and Felin and Loreleth, as you all are kind of up towards the front of the cart. I'd like you both to make a dexterity saving throw for me.
What are the worms from Dune called again? I can't
I
remember.
think they're just called worms.
The worms from Dune.
Sandworm?
Oh, it's got a
You
hole.
talking about Trevor?
Alaskan bullworms.
Oh my gosh.
The major.
Where is dexterity a thing that I add to it?
There's a section where it's strength, dexterity saving
Domain
throws.
6.
You can either make a strength or dexterity saving throw, up to you. So if one is higher.
Oh, don't worry, you're fine.
A 7.
Okay.
16.
Oh, wow.
16 total. Alright, you pass, you fail.
Yeah, that sounds
Okay. So, Lorelith, you take 17 bludgeoning damage.
Oops.
Holy crap.
Can I throw her a treat?
And 14 slashing damage.
Oh no!
Well,
You're not dead.
So 17 plus 14, that's 20,
31.
31. You take half of that, so it's 15. As this massive creature launches itself up out of the ground to maybe 10, 15 feet in the air and then slams next to you. And you can see its hardened shell.
No, he said half of that.
I take half of it. You take
Oh.
This rockish, kind of turtle shellish exterior of this creature with massive claws and this like turtle beak face launches up out of the earth and lands down in this area. Lorelith, you're also knocked prone. So you are laying down on the ground from the impact of this creature landing around you. We are going to end this episode right there.
Whoa!
whoa.